Well, let's take that to a practical level. You have decided to stay in Iran after 79. You have worked there. You still work and live there. And most of your films, when your success started to be really a success, are international films. So you have an international audience. And the paradox is the people at home found it very hard to see your films because they're not officially released there. It's easier now because there's a black market, there are other channels, DVDs. But in a way, the way you just described it, it doesn't really matter because the audience can get a direct link to the films even without having you.
هم مهم هست هم نیست به نظر من. برای اینکه مهمه به عنوان یک ایرانی که واکنش تماشاگرای خودمون رو روی پرده سینما ببینیم. یعنی این که عرض کردم که سینما یک موقعیت استثنائیه برای تماشاگر خودش به خاطر این ابعادی که کنار هم میشتیم، تاریکی و این سرمونی که داره، یعنی اصلا تشریفات دیدن یک فیلم. ولی خیلی تفاوت داره با دیویدی که شما میذارین توی دیویدی پلیرتون تماشا میکنین، وسطش به موبایلتون جواب میدین، SMS میدین، میگیرین، نوشابه میریزین یخچال وسطش، گاهی خاموش میکنین، تلفن‌های طولانی میکنین، بعد بقیه‌شو فردا میبینین. این خیلی تفاوت داره. این تماشاگر رو من از دست دادم طبیعتاً در ایران، بابتش متاسفم، اما خیلی چیزا رو در دوره انقلاب ما همه از دست دادیم. بنابراین در قیاس با اون چیز مهمی نیست و هیچ نقی ندارم در موردش بزنم. اینه دیگه. به قول شما سلاوی.
Well, it doesn't matter, but at the same time, it does matter because what I was mentioning was the ritual of going in a theater to see a film. The fact of coming all together in this room here, sitting in the dark and watching a film is what creates this link that I considered as a privilege link. And it's all about this ceremony and about this ritual. A film that you see on a DVD, as my audience does in Iran, is a film that you see under totally different circumstances. You go and get a drink from the fridge, you receive and you send your SMS. Sometimes you're tired, so you just turn it off and you see the rest of it the day after. So this is another way of seeing the film. So unfortunately, the reaction that is important for me is the reaction of the people who actually do it in this ritual way, which I don't have in Iran. So this is something that I have lost in Iran. But let's say that we have lost so many things lately in Iran that this is not the loss I would complain about.
There's a question I would love to ask the audience. It's a bit difficult, but we can try. I think there are many expatriates all over the world who love your films, and they also love that through your films they get a link back to the country where they come from, where their family has come from. Now, do you like the fact that Copie Conforme is not shot in Iran, but in Rome with international actors? Or does that rather bother you? Or are you, as I am, on the same level and think it doesn't matter because the film fits perfectly with the others? It's the same kind of story with the same kind of people in there. Is there somebody who would like to react to that? Probably, yeah, there's somebody up there.
I think it is just a reflection of globalization that our problems, our reaction to our problems have become kind of uniformed, and there is no longer an Iranian story as opposed to stories of other people around the world. Even though culturally we are so different, our frame of mind could be so similar. And it just brings us closer to the rest of the world.
جواب خیلی قانع کننده به نظر من، لااقل برای من.
This is a convincing answer, at least for me.
And I think you probably like it as an answer as well, because I think it fits in what you think yourself of how you work with the continuity of your whole work.
دنبال کار دیگه است طبیعتاً، برای من که نمیتونه دنبال کار دیگه من نباشه، چون من فکر کنم که هر کاری هم که میکنم، عکاسی هم که میکنم، به نظرم یه شباهتی با فیلمسازیم داره. یا شعرگونه های کوتاهی که دارم شبیه هایکو یه ذره شبیه فیلمام هست. من نمیتونم شبیه کسی دیگه کار کنم، به خصوص تو این سن و سالی که الان دارم. دلیلی هم ندارم شبیه کسی کار کنم، اگرم داشتم باز نمیتونستم. برای همه شرایط جمعه برای اینکه خوشبختانه خودم بمونم، حالا چه خوبم چه خوب نیستم، ولی اینم که هستم.
Well, yes, there is a continuity, and this continuity is unavoidable. I think whatever I do, not only when I do a film elsewhere, but also when I do other activities that I have, like photographies, like these poems, these short haiku-like poems that I write, whatever I do, there is still a continuity. There are still different aspects of the same person and the same artist. And let's say I would have no reason to try and work like someone else, to become someone else. And even if I had any reason to do it, I wouldn't be able to do it. So I'm not saying that it's good, that I'm proud of it, but that's the way it is, and I am who I am.
من اینکه میدونم که شما قرار یه فیلم دیگه هم ببینیم به اسم زیر درختان زیتون و طبیعتا در قیاس با این دوتا فیلم خواهید دید که تفاوت عمده‌ای با هم دیگه ندارم. باز راجع به رابطه آدم است و آدم، رابطه عاطفی بین این دوتاست. حالا نمونه دیگه شو با یه زبون دیگه، با یه فرهنگ دیگه، یکی کمی دورتر از کشور خودم، با نزدیک به 20 سال فاصله شما در جای دیگه میبینین. من فکر کنم نوع حرفه ما اگر محدود بشه به این که یک طبقه ای فرض بکنیم هموطنای عزیز خودمون فقط در ایران متوجه بشن، بفهمن و برای شما غریبه باشه، من فکر میکنم دیگه این هنر سینما نیست. این یک صنایع دستیه، یک چیزی که فقط به درد مثل میگم صنایع دستی همه جای دنیا، ولی فیلم قراره که یک زبان یونیورسال داشته باشه و قراره که با آدم‌ها با فرهنگ‌های مختلف، با زبان مختلف و ملیت و حتی مذهب گوناگون ارتباط برقرار کنه. به همین دلیل من فکر کنم که باز این ادامه همون کار قبلیه، ولی توی این شرایط در خارج از ایران فیلم برداری شد.
Well, I know that just after this film there will be another screening of an older film that I made, which is Under the Olive Trees. And if you see them both and if you compare them, you see that they're not that different. One was shot about 20 years ago in Iran. This one was shot last year in Italy. But it's still about human beings. It's still about human relationship. And it's still about a love story between two persons. So that's the way it is. I'm used to make films in Iran. I made this one out of Iran, and the story that I tell is not really different. And if the films that I made in Iran were only reserved for a fringe of Iranian society, or if only Iranians could see it and get it and understand it, it wouldn't be a film. I don't know, it would be handicraft, or it would be folklore, it would be something that would be only reserved for a certain population. But film language is a universal language, and it deals with human nature and human condition, no matter if you shoot them in a country or in another. And for the last film, I happened to shoot it in another country.
On the other hand, I think, like most artists, you like to challenge yourself. So if we take the story of one of your first films with the boy and the dog, and the cameraman who said, we filmed the dog, we filmed the boy, and we cut it together, and you said, no, I want to have it all together in one scene, it's a lot more difficult to shoot, and it took a lot of time, but it's a challenge. It's something you achieved, and you had a reason for it. And I think most artists like to try that again and again. And I think when you left your own language with Juliette Binoche and James Michel, you had to write it in your own language, then it was translated, and you had to shoot in a language, even in 2 different languages, 3 different languages, French, English, Italian. It's an additional challenge as well, isn't it?
بله، بخش آخرش کمک میکنه که من جواب کوتاه بدم. یک چالشی که تصمیم گیری از قبل نشده، شرایط ایجاد کرده ولی اصلا بدم نیومد و حتی یک کمی از این حادترش و اکستریمترش رو میخوام با یه زبون دیگه غریبه تر از این انجام بدم به زودی. من به نظرم
It is a challenge. It wasn't a challenge that I meant, that I absolutely wanted to give to myself. It was dictated by the circumstances, but I appreciated it. I went to it with pleasure, and now I'm going to undertake a new challenge in a more extreme way, because I'm going to shoot a film in a language which is even more foreign to me.
در این حال میتونم بگم اصلا چالش نیست، کار تازه انجام نشده. من همون حدود لااقل 40 سال کار میکنم ولی 20 ساله که این چالش رو دارم. مثل همین الان ما هم زبون هم دیگه نیستیم، ولی داریم چیکار میکنیم؟ چالش میکنیم. نه، یه کاری میکنیم که سالها و ساله که رسمه، یه کسی به زبون خودش حرف میزنه و یه آدم متخصصی میاد اون رو تبدیل میکنه به یه زبون دیگه و این ارتباط رو برقرار میکنه. بنابراین هیچ کار تازه‌ای نکردیم، چالنجی هم میتونه نباشه.
But at the same time, it's not a challenge at all. That has been the story of my life for 40 years now. I made films in Farsi, and then my audience were people who didn't understand Farsi. And the only way that I could have a relationship with my audience was exactly as we're doing now. Is anybody here undergoing a challenge? I don't feel so. I am expressing myself in one language. There is a person who's sitting there who's a professional in turning this language to another language and make this relationship possible through a triangle. And this is something which is the average and the old situation of 2 people meeting and not sharing the same language.
It's part of your work, I think, and it's part of your success as well, that it works with audiences all over the world, that people come to appreciate what you put on the screen. The strange thing is, the way I experience your culture from your home country and with people I've met, when they talk about their traditional culture, especially about poetry, there is something else in it. There is something like a pathos. There's something like an emphasis and a love for something that has been shared over centuries. And they can be moved to tears when they hear traditional poetry, and it's a kind of a cultural understanding that doesn't happen to us here that often anymore. We're not moved to tears by poetry, at least not at the table together with others, usually at home in our own chamber. And I think that's something inherent to that culture where you come from, and you yourself are a poet, so there's a difference between cinema that has to work for the audience to translate and this kind of poetry that is like a nest people can sit in.
خیلی ممنون. و من سوالات همیشه با نقد و بررسی همراهه و یه مقداری کمپلیمان به من و به ایرونیا که من فقط باید تشکر کنم. بنابراین این بخشو کنار میذارم، اون بقیه‌اش رو یه پاسخ کوتاهی بهش میدم.
Well, thank you, because now that we've been talking together for a while, every time in your question there is also a very nice comment and analysis and something that I take as a compliment for myself and for my people. So I just express that I'm grateful, and then I'll try and answer.